Good afternoon. Just reading an update on this story about the Americans that were killed while visiting Mexico. You guys saw that I posted this earlier. Hey, Ashley. La Gorda, what's up? JV, Delma, hey there. Juju Bean and Kelly. That's a pretty messed up situation, what happened there. I know some people are trying to create some kind of a conspiracy theory, but I think, hey, Ashley, yeah, I would like to think, what do I know? But I'd like to think that it was just, one report said mistaken identity. A different report said they were just caught in the crossfire between the two rival gangs and they were driving right across. Hey, see friend Felicia, hi there. Iced tea. Hi, April. It is, and I know that people here, because I'm right on the border. This happened, as someone likes to say, literally just a few miles south of me. And by few, I'm going to say 3 or 4 miles tops, somewhere in that ballpark. And I know that people locally want to say, "Oh, don't say that. It's safe. You can go and go to the doctor or go to the pharmacy." And then the early report said they were going to a pharmacy. Then it turned into they were going to have a plastic surgery procedure, right? Tummy tuck or something. So this morning, the one person that was alive and the other person that was alive but injured were brought back over, and they're at the hospital right now. I don't think they were kidnapped per se. Hey, Marisa, Mr. Nobody, what's up? Hey, Kenya. No, I didn't say the lady was dead. I said there were two of the friends. There were four altogether. I think it was a female and 3 males. 2 of the males are dead. The other one is injured. He's got a gunshot wound. And then the woman, nothing happened. Well, she has no injuries. Well, at least not from gunshots. So that's all we know. And I'm going to read this latest update right now. And but I know people want to say, "Oh, it's safe. Come and eat. Come and go to the pharmacy and do this and do that. It's okay. It's safe." I'm like, I'm not even going to go if I don't have to, and I don't have to really. The real reason people go is to get medication cheaper, right? You can get most medication without a prescription. You just need to know what you want, and you get it over the counter at the local pharmacies, which are, there's 5 to 10 on every block. There's a bunch on every block. And you don't even have to go very far in. If you did want to go to the pharmacy, cross over. As soon as you walk over the bridge, they're right there. They're all over the place. So you don't have to drive further or go further in. There's many pharmacies to go to. I'm not saying go and do that. I'm just telling you how it is. Mr. Nobody. So, what's your opinion about those Americans kidnapped Matsumoto's? Wrong place, wrong time, or drug deal gone bad? Since they've got North Carolina license plates on that van, I'm going to say wrong place, wrong time. Just got to sort it out whether it was they were caught in the crossfire, which can happen. There's also a Mexican national, a woman that was killed in that crossfire. That's also what's called collateral damage. Yeah, they're not mentioning her too much, but that was also a Mexican woman killed. And they're calling it a kidnapping because they see the perpetrators, pulling the woman onto the back of the pickup truck. And then you can see them, if you've seen the video, they're grabbing the bodies of the two that were shot, and they're dragging them over to the pickup truck, and they throw them into the pickup truck as well. And I think that's why originally it might have been mistaken as a kidnapping. But that's what the cartel, what they do over there. When there is a shooting like that, they recover all the bodies. They collect everything. They don't want the public, they don't want the police knowing who died, who's missing, what's going on. All they know is that there's nobody here now. There was a shooting, but there's nobody here. It's only when they're trying to give a message, send a message. That's when you see the bodies hanging from bridges, or strapped to a fence, or body parts and decapitated bodies, or heads in a bag or in a cooler. That's when they want you to know what's going on. So I think originally it was mistaken as a kidnapping. What you saw in that video clip was them really trying to pick up after themselves. And is anything going to happen? Is this administration going to do anything about it? I don't think so. Hey, Marisa. Hey, proud Army wife. Yeah, no, it was. I would say don't go if you don't have to. I mean, there are places in Mexico where I guess they're safe, but fly there, right? Don't drive across the entire country. A lot of shady things can happen on these roads, isolated roads in the middle of the night, or even in the daytime for that matter. I've seen those. I have not seen. The closest I've been to it is my cousins telling me, because what they'll do is they'll hijack a couple of buses, and they will close off a street, a bus on one end, a bus on the other end, and they'll do their business in the street and shoot and go after whoever they're going after, and then they'll move the buses and let traffic go once they can escape. And my cousins were in the middle of that, or just outside of it, watching it, something like that. That's the closest that I want to be. It's unfortunate because, I mean, if you want some good food, some good shopping for Mexican items, that kind of thing, and crafts or food, and if you got to pick up some meds, it would be a good place to just pop over and grab what you need to grab, have a meal, and then come back. But it's now you have to really consider, do I really need to do this? Hey, Lucy. One of the victims has a picture of him being in gang. Mexican government rushed to find them because they know it's bad for business. Yeah. All I remember seeing, I did see a photograph of, I guess shortly after it happened, while the perps were there, and you can see, and I don't want to be labeled as racist or anything, but they were wearing their pants, they wear them under their butts, right below their waistline, and you can see both of them were wearing their pants like that. Does that mean anything? I don't know. Maybe not. Might just be a fashion statement or a fashion style. But I did notice that. Yes, do not drive through the little towns. Unfortunately, I didn't realize you were in neck of the woods. So I saw it. Okay, yep. Well, yeah, and even last year, I think it was October, November, they posted a advisory not to travel to Mexico. I mean, you hate to see that kind of stuff, but is it really worth it? Hey, Denise, and it's tempting. And now, spring break is next week. Texas spring break is next week. And yeah, I know all these kids, they want to come over here and they want to cross the border and go drinking at the bars and stuff, but I don't know. You think maybe for their own safety, Customs and Border Patrol or Border Protection might be the ones to close the border on this side from keep people from going that way, unless they live there or they're doing legitimate business or something like that. Just for their own safety. Is that going too far? Telling people don't go there, not to go there for your own safety and not allowing them? You know? And you don't want to be that kind of government, right? To tell people that where they can or can't travel to. But sometimes I don't know. What do you do? It's yes, I think I got that earlier. Hey, Kenya, I want to see a photo. I'm looking. It just keeps showing the van, and it keeps showing Mexican security officials standing there with their machine gun. There's a lot of that, a lot of photos like that. Okay, so the update right now, this is from KURV, which is AM radio here, 710 AM radio. 2 Americans who survived an attack that killed 2 of their friends in Matamoros Friday are back in the U.S. The man and woman are recovering in a Brownsville hospital, where the man is also being treated for gunshot wounds. The pair were found in a house in Matamoros early Tuesday. The bodies of their 2 friends were found in a field and are being held at a morgue in Matamoros. This was as of 25 minutes ago, roughly. It's not clear yet what or who led authorities to the victims. 1 person has been arrested, but there have been no word on who the suspect is. The 4 friends are from South Carolina. They had driven into Matamoros, where the woman was to go get a cosmetic medical procedure. We heard it was a tummy tuck. As they neared downtown, their minivan came under fire by drug cartel gunmen who apparently mistook them for rival gang members they were engaged in firefight with at the time. Cell phone video shows the 4 Americans that then being put into the bed of a pickup truck and driven off. And I suppose that can happen. I didn't think the drug cartels or these gang members, whatever you want to call them, drove minivans. I guess they'll drive whatever they can steal. It's possible that happened. I think the Mexican authorities are going to spin it one way, right? I think that definitely is going to happen. Hey, Chuck, how are you, sir? See, Progresso's cool too, and I haven't heard of anything bad happening like there near where the shopping district is. When you go to Progresso, as soon as you cross the border, bang, everything is right there on both sides of the street. It's a long strip, goes down for about a mile, and everything is there: restaurants, shopping, pharmacies. You name it, everything is right there, and it's a cool place to go. Um, and I don't recall hearing of stuff like that happening there. Oh, it comes around. Um, but yeah, it's been a while. I'd like to go there. It's been a very long while. I feel bad for those who were killed, but don't these people watch the news? No cosmetic surgery is worth it. I know, but when you're faced with wanting to do a procedure and it's going to cost 5 to 7 thousand here in the U.S., and you can go have it done in Mexico for $2,000 or less, that's going to entice people. I mean, I wouldn't do it just because of I'm not trusting of medicine over there. I'm sure there's good doctors and surgeons and stuff, but I think if I ever needed or wanted something like that, I would stand stateside. I think you're dumb if you're going to go for vacates. It's if you go, it's on you. Yeah, I mean, I'm saying here, don't go. And I had a gentleman on last night. We're talking politics here in the city, and he's saying the opposite. No, go. It's safe. It's okay if you're gonna do your things there by the border. And I'm like, no, I disagree. I wouldn't send anybody over there. To keep people safe, I don't think so. It's not a bad thing to cut people off at the border. Don't let them cross over. CBP cannot stop them. Only Biden's policies dictate what they can do. Yeah, I know. And clearly, they're not going to do anything about it. Anybody want to put a wager on it? Denise says, me and my husband used to take his mom to a dentist right over the border. It was about 20 years ago. I finally told my husband no more. I've had dental work down there before. Just last year, I crossed over. I had what I thought was a deep cleaning. It turned out to be regular cleaning by a kid who looked like he was 12. And that's why I was like, yeah, no more. That's probably it for me. My dad used to go to Progresso for his meds when he was still alive. It's a popular thing to do. Kelly Simpson, hey. Yes. Trying to get back into the swing of things a little more. Thanks, Kelly. Progresso's pretty chill? Still? Okay, good. Do you think when Trump wins 2024, he'll designate the cartels as terrorist organizations so the military can get more information involved? Abbott should declare a formal travel warning. The problem is we're not trying to hurt them. The tourism is where they make money. So I know nobody wants to jump and just stop traveling there, cut it, and because it will hurt them. And ultimately, they use that money to come back over here and spend it on our side. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword. But I think in an effort to keep Americans safe and make them aware, maybe it should be, the State Department. I don't think they've done a current travel warning. Let me take a look. Nope, nothing recent. The most recent items are for March. Guatemala travel advisory, Honduras travel advisory, the Gambia, El Salvador, and Israel. And they're saying reconsider travel. Do not travel. A lot of political things going on over there. So, I mean, you guys do what you want. You guys are going to travel if you take vacations and that kind of thing. But there's a lot of places in the U.S. that are nice to travel to also. Gator hater. I forgot every. Oh, okay. Gator hater. Now I remember. Yeah. So this is a story. Geez, we got a commercial here. So there's that one guy laying there. They're dragging somebody over who's already out, and a woman with her face covered. I think it's a woman. They drag her into the pickup truck, and she sits down. There, see? They brought her in there. She sat there. Now they're pulling one of her two companions. They brought him closer to the pickup truck, and they dragged the other guy over. And it wasn't going to be good, because when they dragged the other guy over, you can see a wet trail as they pulled him. And that's not good. So yeah, there they are, putting one body in there and bringing the second one. It's not clear where the fourth person is. And now, one question people were talking about in the comments was, did you see all the cars that were off on the side, like traffic, trying to move as normal? And people were saying, well, how come they don't come out and help? Why don't they come out and stuff? Can't do that. When you see the cartel doing their business, it's best that you ignore it as if you don't see it. Otherwise, you will become part of that as well. You don't want to make eye contact. And they will do their business in front of the world to see. They don't care how many cars or what intersection or any of that stuff. So, and nobody wants to die. That's why they just keep on. They look, but they don't look. And they're trying to pretend that they're not looking, because they don't want to get killed. Because the cartels got no problem going to those cars and shooting all those cars that are there. They have no problem doing that. So it's not that nobody wants to help. It's just that they know what can happen if they do step forward. They can get killed on the spot as well. So it's not a good situation over there, my friends. It really isn't. And how do you bring a stop to this? How does this stop? Personally, I think the cartels control the country more than the government does. In the tradition of Pablo Escobar, in the days of Colombia, the Cali cartel, they have so much power, they have so much money, that if they would make demands, and if they don't get what they want, they would just blow up cars, kill people, blow up a building. And that's the power that they have. And I think bringing in the U.S. military, that's a touchy thing as well. Because there's so many pieces to that cartel puzzle, and all their henchmen and a lot of their hitmen, what they call their soldiers. And because of the money, they have so many people involved, because they need to earn money, and that's how they earn a living, is by doing work for these cartels or gangs. And there's so many people in their network. That's why they know everything that's going on, because they've got snitches everywhere. So, what's the answer? I don't have it. I don't think there's an easy answer to that. It's a bad situation. Hey, Lavina. Yeah, so I don't know what the answer is. You can watch. A good example of how it is over there. You watch the movie Sicario with Benicio del Toro and what's her name, Emily Blunt. Really intense scene where they're on the bridge. They went to go get a prisoner that they're extraditing, bringing him back to the U.S. And they're on the bridge waiting in the traffic to cross back. They're on the border at the bridge crossing. And really intense scene with some guys with guns who are trying to stop them. I mean, it's really intense and it's really good. And kind of par for the course for what's happening right now in Mexico. So you want to watch something related to the times, watch Sicario. Sicario is the actual pronunciation before I get yelled at by the Mexican people. That's the movie. Emily Blunt, Benicio del Toro, what's his name? He's the guy. He's the older kid who was in the Goonies. Remember the Goonies? Remember the bigger kid, the older one? Ugh, I can't think of her name right now. Josh Brolin. That's right, Josh Brolin. And it was Brolin's father, James Brolin, I think it was, who was in. I want to say he was in the original Amityville horror movie. Let me see. Now I gotta find out. Amityville horror film. Okay, let's see. $1979. Yeah, James Brolin. So the Brolin kid, it was his father who was in the original Amityville horror movie. Anyway, he's in this movie, Sicario. And it's really good. Lavina, topic for today is what happened in Matamoros on Friday and what's been happening since then. The injured parties have been returned. I don't know if the bodies have been recovered. I know they've been recovered, but I don't know if they've been returned. I know they should. I posted video of a ambulance with police. Presumably, the people that are survivors that are alive are in there, but I don't know if they brought the bodies back yet of the deceased. And just discussing about the conditions over there and should you go or not. I haven't seen that. I'm so in love with Benicio del Toro. Check it out. Well, in that case, you'll like it. It's actually a good movie. Mexico government better take out the dealers. Yeah, that's not going to happen. You know why? Because they can't. They literally can't. Because I don't think they know who runs things. There's so many soldiers that work for the cartels that, yeah, that's not going to happen. All return to the U.S., even the deceased. Okay. Trying to find out if that's exactly the case, but I hope that's the case. Anything else on that? Two of the four U.S. citizens have been found dead, while the other two are alive. Discovery. Okay, no, same news. Well, hopefully everybody was returned. But yeah, very bad situation. It's not a good place to be right now. If you got kids going to spring break, coming to South Texas, tell them don't cross over. There's a famous case of Just remember the kid's last name? I want to say Mark Kilroy. You guys know the Kilroy story? Anybody hear the Kilroy story? Hang on, let me put this up here for you. March 14th of 98, UT student Mark James Kilroy was kidnapped in Matamoros. Was kidnapped in Matamoros, Mexico, while he was here during spring break. He was taken by his abductors to a ranch where he was tortured and sodomized for hours before being murdered in human sacrifice. They call it a human sacrifice ritual. He was killed with a machete and then had his brain removed and boiled in a pot. Nasty stuff. His killers then inserted a wire through his spinal column, amputated his legs at the knees, buried him at the ranch along with 14 people who had been killed there before he was. I'm not going to say the name. The leader of the cult told his followers that human sacrifice granted them immunity from law enforcement for their drug smuggling operation. The killing drew worldwide media attention, initiated an international police manhunt because of the unusual circumstances of the crime. After his bodies were discovered, April 11th of 89, the perp fled to Mexico City. He was eventually tracked down. Yeah, they made a movie about that. I can't remember the name of the movie. You guys can look it up, I'm sure. Born in Chicago. Crap, he was my age. But that happened here. He went over for spring break. March 10th, Kilroy's childhood friend Bradley Moore finished exams early at UT and headed to Austin to pick him up. Both of them headed to Santa Fe to pick up two other friends before heading to South Padre Island for spring break. South Padre Island is about 25 minutes from here. It's considered our backyard of Brownsville. And when you fly into the area, you're actually flying into Brownsville / South Padre Island International Airport. They checked in at the Sheraton hotels and resorts the next morning before heading to the beach. They first arrived at SPI. It's called SPI. There were a few people because it was very early in the 5-week spring break season. The following morning, they left South Padre Island that evening and stopped for dinner at Sonic in Port Isabel. They met up with a female from University of Kansas, and then they crossed into U.S. at the U.S.-Mexico border by foot. Kilroy's friends and the Kansas woman spent most of their evening at the Sgt. Pepper's nightclub in Matamoros before the groups went their separate ways. Okay, so that was not that night. It must have been the next night when he returned, and that happened. But that's another horrible situation, especially what they did to the poor kid's body. Yeah, 98. Or was it 89? Sorry, that was 89. Yeah, 89, sorry. 1989. Yep, Mark Kilroy. Look that up. I believe they made a movie on that. Hi, Yanita. Yes, 1989, 88. Lived in corporate during all day, was on the news every night. Yeah, I can't even imagine that. That's, man. And if you do drive in Matamoros, somebody's eyes. Other people have told me this as well. Don't get into a road rage. Don't honk your horn. Don't honk your horn on your car. Just don't. Just let it be. Just keep looking forward. It's bad. You don't want to. Just don't go. Just don't go. You don't want to draw attention to yourself. If you have a brand new car, SUV, don't drive it over there. try to stay within a few blocks of the bridge. Learn where the U.S. consulate is at. My brother said he went to school with the girl that did the horrible thing. With the girl that did the horrible thing. Ugh, really? You know, the crimes that these people do. I don't understand how. I don't get it. That kind of brutality doesn't compute. You know what I mean? I don't get it. That's horrible. For those of you who watched last night, I had Erasmo Castro on. He's running for mayor of the city of Brownsville. Tomorrow, I've got Susan Ruvalcaba. She's running for a commissioner at large. Thursday, I've got North Galansky, who is the incumbent commissioner. Incumbent commissioner. I'm sorry, somebody at the door. For District 1. And then Friday, Brian Martinez, who is challenging her for that same District 1. Tonight, I've got Roy de los Santos. He is commissioner of District 3. And he's been on many times before, and we've had marathon sessions almost 4 hours long. So, and it's not always politics. We talk about all kind of stuff, but he's a really good guy, very interesting, and it's always a fun time. So if you're able to join tonight, this should be somewhere between 8 to 9 o'clock. He is a commissioner for the city of Brownsville, and they do have their commissioners meeting today, which I believe is at 5 o'clock. So shortly thereafter, when the meeting is over, we will go live and just talk about stuff for a while. If you haven't met Roy yet, you want to tune in. Good guy. And so look for that tonight. Alrighty, I think I'm going to call it for right now. Everybody, thanks for hanging out with me for a little bit. Enjoy the rest of your day. If you're working, focus on your work. If you're not, then just enjoy your regular day, whatever you're doing. And we'll see you on later this evening. Bye, everybody.